Hello all, Jack's YouTube channel. Today I was doing a little bit of content on kind of commitment to an exercise routine. And I think it's really important to share what I've learned, as a trainer and to give to you guys, because making a commitment to an exercise routine can be tough because we feel life can get in the way with our work, our relationships, our socializing with our friends, which is important. We all need that for our overall well-being. And sometimes we put health and fitness on the back burner, but we don't realise actually obviously how important that is on our overall well-being and how that reflects on our work life, our relationships, our social life. But sometimes, people just say, I don't have enough time. And that's quite a common thing, or probably one of the most common obstacles when life does get in the way. We don't have time. And we always have time. It's just we don't value our health and fitness enough. And you're not going to force anyone to do it. If they don't want to do it, that's fine. But we always set the right intentions and then we say, I don't have enough time because life gets in the way. And when we set the intentions in our heads, we don't actually write them down half the time. And when we don't write them down, because we have so many, according to research, 4,000 distinct thoughts in a 16-hour day. So it's no wonder kind of our thoughts get drifted in the wind, when we set those intentions. So to actually kind of really reflect and have it down, we need to write it down. And what there's something called a decisional balance sheet. And I think this will really help someone who out there is watching this is struggling to commit to an exercise routine. So next time you're kind of setting that intention, but you always kind of struggle to deliver that consistent action, I want you to write down in a box. We're going to write a box, okay? So we're going to just a square box, and then we're going to write headings for it. We're going to write on the left-hand side, going down, we're going to write pros and then cons. And then at the top, we're going to write making a change and not making a change. So what we're going to do is we're going to write out 1 to 3, or if you have more, by all means write more. You're going to have pros of making that change, and then you're going to have pros of not making that change. So pros are basically not committing, and pros of making that commitment. And then underneath, you're going to have cons. So you're going to have cons of making that change, making that commitment, and then you're going to have cons of not making that change. So we're going to have the pros and cons of making that commitment and not making that commitment. And when you've written them down, then you'll be able to see the balance between, if there's more pros to making that change or if there are more cons to making that change, and vice versa. So this will really help you see if basically for you, it is worth it in that moment in your life. So if the cons of making the change, outweigh the pros, then you're going to think, okay, well, I'm not ready for it right now. It's not a priority of mine. However, if the pros of making the change outweigh the cons, then you think to yourself, okay, it's going to bring more benefit into my life than negative, than not. So I need to start making this commitment. And then to really help with that, kind of pushing you on with that motivation, stick it up on your wall. So every time, you think, oh, I can't be bothered with this, it's not for me. You've got on the wall, your pros outweighing your cons, and that when you do stick to it, that it's going to bring more good into your life than not. And having those little things, will really help you, just push you on a little bit when the going gets tough. Because I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it is easy. Because when you are trying to commit to an exercise, it can be hard. Life does get in the way as well. And sometimes when you're not seeing the progress you want at times, then you think, is it really worth my time? But the more I realise kind of exercise doesn't just have on my physique. Yes, I was a skinny mini and I wanted to get bigger. But the more I realised actually it was a real happy place for me, because it improved my overall well-being in terms of, not only my mental health, because it kind of got me out of my mental health issues. Well, it gave me the platform, I should say. But it gave me something that I could really control in my life. And that is the most understated thing about exercise, because once you kind of commit to that health and fitness, that is the one variable in your life you feel like you can always have control of. especially if it's you're firmly implementing your routine, no matter how chaotic life can get. When I have exercise in my life, when I have training in my life, which is always now, it's the one thing I know I can have full control of. And that really helps kind of my emotional, my mental health. So just to recap, next time you're struggling to, really take consistent action, write down the pros and cons of making that change and not making that change. See what balances up. If more pros add up to making that change, then there you go. You've set yourself that intention. You're making that commitment to yourself because you know it's going to bring more positivity into life than not. If there are more cons, okay, it might not be for you right now, and that's fine. It's not for, as I said, it's not for everyone, but it's just a little great tool in seeing what the pros and cons are for you personally in that moment in time in your life. Hope that helps, ladies and gents. Thank you all for watching. If you do have any questions about this little task, feel free to reach out to me on social media. I put the links below in the bio section, so you can access my Instagram, on my website. You can email me or my Facebook. So I'm always about, and I'm obviously always happy to ask questions. So hope that helps, ladies and gents. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.